you said before we went live that you wish that you would have known about guys like us when you got married.
Yeah.
So please tell us what happened there. I have to know this story.
Okay, so this was 2007.
Oh, right before we started.
So
we met anyway.
All the stuff with the PD happened in 2007. So 2008, I get with her.
Okay.
Thanks to the gay dudes. Pop, you were there when I talked about it. The guys that my friends that introduced us.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in the oil fields and you just got used to.
Yeah, I was. Well, no, I was residential and commercial plumbing at the time.
Oh, okay. So you were.
I had left the oil field and I was laying pipe everywhere else. So, and I'd already laid a lot of pipe in a lot of field before that. So, I'm plumbing, and my two gay friends hook us up, and
there's a lot of gay friends around here. Like, people think you're gay. Like, one dude, I wonder if he was actually trying to like bait the hook to be like, if he's gay.
I honestly, with Cali fucker, I don't doubt it, because I heard rumors from his daughter, from his wife, from his younger daughters, that they had an uncle who moved from California with them and lived with them, and dad and uncle would go to the bedroom without mom.
Oh, I was only half.
That guy's still an officer in Rollins. Yeah, well, I think I seriously think
I was only half kidding, but now I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah, trust me, I was freaked out when he was saying this shit to me. So the two dudes I knew from Rollins, like the one's like a father to me, and I'd helped him move up here. One of my buddies and I had helped these two dudes move up here. You know, the husband had moved up here already. He was moving out of Rollins, so we were helping him move. And of course, my truck blows a motor when I'm leaving Willow Hill, trying to catch the gay friend that introduced me.
All these things are blown.
Yeah. So my gay friend Sammy's doing like 115 in a 65 at the time.
That's
and he's just screaming.
115 and a 69.
Pretty good.
Bad.
You had to.
That's like a 69 with both legs and both feet.
So I'm trying to catch up to him in my Ford Ranger, because I got a bunch of his shit in the back of my truck.
It's not a white Ford Ranger, is it? You driving?
No, it was.
Okay.
No, it was a 4-wheel drive off-road package, 1999, with a flex fuel 6.0 Vulcan motor in it.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm like hauling ass. Like, I'm like, fuck, he's doing like 115. I'm doing shit. I'm doing the fucking speed limit. There's no troopers between Casper and Bear Oil. And it's, once you get off of Willow Hill, it's like a straight flat till you hit Muddy Gap.
All right.
Insert gay joke there. I've inserted. So my backtrack that with
into Muddy Flap.
So with the gay, so backtrack that. My aunt comes out from Michigan when I was in high school.
Okay.
And she's like, "Is this where they filmed Brokeback Mountain?" And we were in French. Oh, I'm pissed. My grandma's there. My cousin's a traveling nurse. We're all up in the mountains. And she's like looking over this huge mountain view of French Creek, which is like this massive fucking valley. 2 years ago, there was the biggest forest fire in Wyoming since Yellowstone. It actually got into Colorado.
Oh shit.
Okay.
That's no fun.
It's part of the Snowy. It's part of the Medicine Bow National Forest. It's part of Snowy Range. I grew up hunting there. Like, I chased elk and deer all over that place.
As long as you weren't chasing ass on Brokeback Mountain.
No. So my aunt's standing by this giant fucking Douglas fir that's on the side of the road. And she's like, "Is this where they filmed Brokeback Mountain?" And I'm like, "No, this is where they filmed their lesbian sequel."
Was it a tree, or was it a guy named Douglas who was a furry?
No, it was an actual Douglas fir. Like, this fucking tree was like 8 foot in diameter.
Oh
just
shit!
hanging over the edge of this cliff that is kind of the lookout on the Forest Service Road.
Okay.
And my aunt's looking around, and she's like, "Oh, is this where they filmed Brokeback Mountain?" And I'm like, "No, this is where they filmed the lesbian sequel." She turns around, she's like, "There's a lesbian sequel?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's called Beaver Rim." It's about two lesbian fur traders. or it's about two lesbian fur trappers.
Oh, they're
And
trappers.
she's
over
like,
there.
so she gets pissed and she starts like looking at my mom, and she's the oldest of. My mom is the second oldest of 5 kids. My aunt's the oldest of 5 kids. She looks at my mom without skipping a beat in front of my grandma. She's like, "You're gonna let him talk to me like that?" My mom's like, well, "I don't know what to do." She looks at my dad, and my dad's like, "I'm getting in the truck."
I'm not have none of it.
So my aunt's sitting there and she's like, "Oh, okay, Mr. Smartass. What do we call the sequel to Brokeback Mountain?" I'm like, "Muddy Gap." It's actually being filmed outside of Bear Oil in Muddy Gap, which is an actual area called Muddy Gap. It's
Muddy
where
Gap.
it's where US 220 and US 789 meet, and they go from Rollins 789 to 220, and then 789 shoots off up to Lander. And it's literally called Muddy Gap. Like there's a sign that says Muddy Gap. So I was like, yeah, their sequel is going to be called Muddy Gap.
Muddy Gap. Where they have a fairy queen, and all they serve is Neapolitan.
Oh, they got nothing out there, but yeah, I mean, it might as well be because they. So my gay friend's like hauling ass from Bear Oil to Muddy Gap on the fucking flats because he's like, fuck, I can open this car up to 120 miles an hour. Fuck it. So he's laying into his car, and I'm going down the hill, and all of a sudden my fucking engine locks up going down Willow Hill. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I'm calling him, and I'm like, we barely have cell service here. Like, I need to make a fucking phone call. Like, I have 1 bar. So I'm on the phone. He's like, all right, I'm turning around. So he turns around at Muddy Gap, hauls ass back to me, and about then this hot chick from Lander rolls up in her F-350. And my gay friend's very mechanically inclined, so he's looking at my engine. He's like trying to turn the fan. He's like, "Bro, I think you blew the motor." Yeah, no shit.
Blew it all right.
He's like, "It's seized up." He's like, "But I don't see any oil underneath it." He's like, "Call your dad." I'm like, "I don't want to call my fucking dad."
How many miles were on the truck when that happened?
Like 50,000.
Oh, it must have been still under warranty, right?
No, because a fuel pump had blown. Fremont Motors fucked that up. The transmission went out. Fremont Motors, Rollins fucked that up. So, like,
wow,
it's fucked. So my dad's like, all right. He's like, fine, I'm gonna call your dad. And he's like, no getting in the truck with her because I know what you're gonna ask her for. I know what you're gonna do. And she's like, well, where are you coming from? I'm like, well, I'm from Saratoga. And she's like, oh, I'm from Lander. I'm like, I was born in Lander. Hey, we got some shit in common.
Nice.
And my buddy's like, my buddy looks at me and he's like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to go back to the hot springs and you're going to, fuck it. Just get in the truck with her.
All right.
He's like, I can't deny a guy. So my mom and dad show up by then. And my dad's like asking my gay buddy, he's like, look, I know you're a fucking fairy, but what's wrong with his truck? And he's like, well, I think my gay buddy Sam, he's like, well, I think it threw a rod. The oil pump has never worked right on this truck. This is what I think the lifters are screwed up. Like, he's like, turn the ignition. Like he's super mechanically inclined. And so then I moved them up there, and like, I had to borrow my dad's fucking F-350, or I had to borrow my dad's Ford Ranger and drive up there and move him. Get a new car because, got my truck fixed, got drunk in Hannah.
Seems legit.
Rolled my truck on Cinco de Mayo in a snowstorm, rolled my truck down Coyote Canyon, almost died. The fire department took my pit bull and put her in the ambulance in a blanket on the gurney, but refused to give me a blanket. The trooper that showed up was a drinking buddy of mine.
Nice.
So he told the sheriff's deputies, one of the sheriff's deputies, when I had been a cop, I had arrested his wife for DUI. Sheriff's deputy wanted me.
Ooh.
State trooper buddy of mine looks at him and he's like, get the fuck out of here. This is my jurisdiction. Like, go. Trooper buddy of mine does, he does FSTs. I pass all of them, drunk as shit, pass FSTs. Turns off his cruiser cam and he's like, man, so you and Hefe, you guys practice this shit when you guys were drinking buddies? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We get in the car. He pulls out the PBT, which, portable breath test, which is inadmissible in under Wyoming statutes. And it's inadmissible. And he goes through the whole, you're a former police officer. You understand that this is inadmissible under Wyoming state statute. I can't use this against you, but I can use it to as a preliminary to obtain a warrant for your blood or your breath. If you refuse, I'm like, okay. Turns off the cruiser cam again. He looks at me and he's like, all right, bro, you and I both know 0.08 is the state statute, is minimum. CDL is 0.04. Police officer is 0.06. You're a former cop. You still count as a cop. If you blow a 0.06, your ass is going to fucking Rollins right now.
Wow. Okay.
All right, dude. So he's like, and then he holds it up and I watch him dial the fucking back of it. He's like, I'm dialing this bitch all the way down, dude. So if you blow anything, we're going.
Yeah.
Or if you blow
anything,
over,
we're going.
Man, there's
he's,
a lot of
he's like, if you
slips tonight.
Yeah. I know.
All right.
So he says you blow a 0.06, you're going to county. Okay. So we go back on cruiser cam and I'm blowing.
I'm blowing all right. I'm on camera this time. It's on court.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do to get out of this shit, right?
Grunt cop gives a nice portable blowy.
0.058.
Use.
0.058.
Making gay.
All right. So what happened?
0.058.
Oh.
By the
so he gets
teeth.
So he gets on the radio, radios it out, turns around on cruiser cam. He's like, so you on the PBT, it's showing you blew a 0.058. I estimate with your height, your body weight, that's about 6 beers. And I'm like, 6? It's like a case of beer, 17 shots, half a bottle of whiskey, 3 bottles of tequila. There's still a case of beer in my truck. He shuts it off. He's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
What are you, Jim Carrey and liar?
At that point, I was so drunk, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it.
All right.
Well, then, week after that, the gay dude I was moving up there calls me up. He's like, hey, man, I got this chick I want you to meet. Come up to Casper for the weekend.
He saw you glowing and thought that he would hook you up.
Probably. So I run up there. I meet this gal. Things go great. I get sick. I have a week off of work. My mom's trying to take care of me. My mom's driving from her house. My dad's checking in on me. My mom literally shows up. This should have been the first sign of trouble. She shows up without her kids, and she had like 4 kids, which, again, another sign of trouble.
Oh,
no.
And you married this woman?
Yeah, I did.
4 kids?
So from 2 different dudes.
Oh, my God! What the fuck? What are you doing? Were you fucking
I was 20.
You son of a bitch?
Yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah. 25. 24, 25.
You were barely out of the don't know shit age bracket.
Yeah.
Oh.
So first clue should have been when my mom showed up with a big ass bowl of chicken noodle soup, homemade chicken noodle soup with homemade noodles. And she blows up at my mom at the front door. I'm here now. I'm taking care of him. Leave him the fuck alone.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. My mom leaves. My mom calls me, or my mom texts me. My mom's like, I swear to God, I'll kill that bitch if I ever come over there again. If she's not gone by tonight, I'm like, will she stay in the weekend, Mom? Just let it go. I get a text message from my sister who's in college.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister's like, so Mom just called me. We need to chat.
Oh, here we go.
Then I get a phone call from my dad. I don't know who this whore is, but I want her out of your fucking house.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you should have taken the hint.
I should have. I was dumb.
Well, how did she become your ex-wife? What went down? Because it took a long time to get here. That's why I just kind of want to cut to the chase.
Okay. All right. So it was I get laid off from Enerflex Energy Services, building natural gas compressor stations.
Right.
And she had been taking money from me all the time. And I didn't know at the time she'd actually stolen one of my credit cards and used it.
Oh.
So I got hit years later for that. And that's already paid off. But she looks at me. I got into a car accident coming home. I got my 07 Trailblazer out of it. I was paying my loan. I get laid off and I've got to make a decision, pay my loan or get fucked for 7 years. So she's like, all right, well, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your unemployment, you're going to give that all to me and put it all into the house. And you're going to let your loan slip. And I'm like, that's not happening. That's not going to happen. Like, done. Like you fucking killed a baby on top of that and made me pay for it.
An abortion.
Whoa. All right. You just pulled out, killed the baby. Where are we in this story?
Okay, so we're at the end of it. So like 6 months before this, she called me up when we were fighting, and I was living out of the house with a friend, and she says, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, good for you. I know you're jumping on your boss's dick. Good for you. She's like, well, it's yours. And I'm like, at that time, my brain kicks in because I wanted a family really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. She's like, what are we going to do about it? You promised me you'd take care of it. And I said, okay, so first thing we're going to do is get a paternity test. That's not happening. I want an abortion.
Oh,
you know what the deal is.
She went to you because she thought you would just take it.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'll take care of the kid.
Yeah.
And then you find out in 20 fucking years it's not your kid.
Yeah.
God damn it!
So this is why I'd wished I'd found you guys in 2009 when this shit happened.
I mean,
because
you called if it had a call-in show back then. Yeah, sorry, Pop. I'm thinking of getting married. I'm 25.
She's got 4 kids from 2 other dudes.
Should I do it? I'd be like, fuck no! That be for the Kensher Smiths dropping all kinds of fucking babies from other dudes. No!
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.